Okay, hello. I made some print and play things. I'm going to showcase them. Not going through the rules because that will make things boring, and we can get pretty far usually by just uh, looking at the components and see how far we get, and that will give the same, well, some kind of questions. Uh, so we have some handles to look for in the rulebook. Let's start with Spell Saga. Spell Saga is, let's see, these go away. Spell Saga is a weird little game that is, there are not many videos on. It is about a, some kind of card-driven narrative adventure, and I did print out the rulebook, and it is free to print and play, but um, the main issue is the backsides are not provided. So it is composed of the Highlands that you are supposed to play first. Then, if you survive that, you can take your character to Spell Saga 2, the forest. I didn't build the forest because I ran out of backside. But there is the forest. I also printed the fronts, but not the backs yet. So that will have to wait. After the forest is Spell Saga 3, Prelude. It's called Prelude, but it's not supposed to be. In hindsight, it explains the prelude. That's how I understood it. And finally, you have something after the prelude called Realm Walker. And all these cards, they have the same kind of flow, and I also made the order of play. So you have a story pile and some beehive-like hexagon for the places. There's an item pile, a source pile, a hero pile, action pile, a deck, and an armor pile. So obviously there is also a battle. You can encounter some stuff, enemies, and well, apparently your hero can die. So that is the overall view. So that's if you make this into an A5 like Grimworlds, there's also the forest, so it would be like so. So I think I'm going to store it vertically, not really sure yet. So let's start off with the Highlands. Just a quick overview. Cards to they tend to bend, as you can see. That's why I keep them back to back. So you will have to excuse me for the bending. The bending will clear itself over time. So you have cards like this that are story. You have places and enemies and items. another place, another item, place. What is this? Spell Saga. A social shifting card. Every pack of Spell Saga has some non-standard extra cards that are particular to the pack. Yeah, I really like the artwork. So you can, well, it was a solo game by Todd Michael Rogers. It has been in development since 2006 or something. There are some really old videos on YouTube on it, but he clearly put a lot of his soul and personality in this game. Yeah, for me it comes really alive. This is an item that does nothing. Let's see. Cycle this item to use it. Item, place, item, item. Nobody, so far as I know, has shown all the cards, so it would be, and I don't think it's available anymore. Todd is working on version 2.0 that is totally different and absolutely not compatible. You can look it up on the internet. There are some dev notes, but this is a finished product that you can play. The bags I used with PNP tool, but if you print the fronts, it would be better to do some digital pre-work to put them also through PNP tool, because they have these borders, and I cut out the cards by the back, but they leave these white outer borders and the black borders of the card itself. And if you cut out only the inside of the front card, then you would have like deck 1 and the Highlands would be gone and top part of Spell Saga would be gone, and that would look just silly. So if I really like it, I'll redo this work, but for now it should suffice. But just be warned that hitting print on your and hoping that it will be a good product, that's not going to work. You have to do some pre-processing. So the setting is more or less explained already on other videos. It's a post-apocalyptic, post-human society where there are some heroes, and there is song magic. Your primary protagonist is like a bard, spell song, and he goes out exploring through the places. There are the text is in that medieval German style. You really want to print out these cards by a really good printer, because the text in the bottom is actually the problem and not the text in the hard to read fonts in the center. So the texts like, when visiting this place, cards that are cycled are considered source cards. and some trademark here on the bottom. So this is the card mechanics, and these should be clear. So you can't use your El Cheapo desktop printer. That's not going to work. This is the text that, yeah, it's kind of tiny. Could use some makeover, but nobody's going to do that. So it's as good as it gets. As with more of these games. There's another hero, Paladin. Let's go through them because the time is running out. So the enemies have these quirky little things that are from someone's scribblings, glowing eyes, and so this is supposed to be your imaginary glowing eyes. Spell song. So you get a lot of cards. And you're gonna, of course, also use sleeves with the back opaque. So then you can also use different backs, and it doesn't matter what you store them on. But I'm just not a fan of sleeves because they make things very slippery, and especially for a card game. So there's also NPCs. This is one of the folk. So it's a very particular artwork, and I'm looking forward to play this. You don't need anything else. So here's another NPC. Yeah, it's a lot. Let's see. We're running out of time. So yeah, that's the Spell Saga Part 1. Kind of grim world. Every time different story, depending on what you encounter. No dice. Yeah, all just cards.